Thank you for logging on to the PawCast for the week of Monday, December 7th through Friday the 11th. Hello, I'm Mr. Andrews, and it's time for some Pawville news. In math this week, we will be exploring and learning the metric system, the most practical measuring system on Earth. Well, I plan on proving that this week. We are the only country on Earth, by the way, that does not use the metric system as a system of measurement. So, it is as simple as kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, milli. Or maybe you'll prefer to go from smallest to largest. Milli, centi, deci, base, deca, hecto, kilo. All we have to do this week, and you might as well go ahead and get started, is memorize those 7 things. 6 prefixes and a base in the middle. We'll be doing that on Monday and Tuesday. We'll talk a little bit about elapsed time on Wednesday and Thursday. There's a good chance we're going to have a test on Thursday or definitely on Friday of this week. Speaking of tests, there will be a test coming home in the work folder on Monday. It'll be customer unit test that we took this past week. In reading this week, we are going to be working in guided reading groups. Our theme is cause and effect. Matter of fact, that's going to be our theme throughout all of our learning this week, cause and effect. While students are not working with me in their particular guided reading group, they'll be at workstations. We have about 6 of those around. One of those is our tech station. In the tech station, students will be reading the USA Today Money section and learning more about companies and products that are being talked about in the news. And we'll also be working on the MarketWatch.com practice stock game this week. I saw that we have 9 students out of the 29 students who have registered with MarketWatch.com, and then after they registered, then they were able to go in and use the link that I sent a couple of weeks ago to join the Paul Street Journal game. If you're not able to get your child registered and then logged into the game, I suppose that'll be okay. We have 9 students that can, and they can join in with one of those 9 students. So don't knock yourself out trying to do that, but it'd be really nice if you could. Not knock yourself out, but get registered and join the game. In science this week, we are working on mixtures and solutions, and I'm trusting that we're going to have a test by the end of the week on that. That's one of our workstations, by the way, and reading. And then in social studies, I promise we're going to try our best to get through some of the social studies lessons in which we talk about the first settlers in North America. The science fair is this coming Friday, and students are expected to bring their science fair trifolds and research paper. Just want to make sure that everybody is clear on what's expected. The trifold, well, students have a model that we made in class that will help you with the placement of different things on that trifold. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email or call me at school. That'll be fine. I'd be more than happy to try to lead you through that. The way I explained this to your student was that the trifold is kind of like a quick start guide. If you were buying something that needed to be assembled, there's usually 2 different sets of instructions. There's the quick start guide, and that pretty much gives you the essentials of what you did on your science fair project. And then there is the research paper. The research paper simply is giving the opportunity to give details of what you did, what you learned, how you did it, and I'm not going to prescribe how long that needs to be, just as long as you're able to fully describe and explain what you did and what you learned and how you did it. That's all I'll ask you. On both the trifold and inside of your research paper, you must have a real-world connection. The real-world connection tells me, it tells anyone who's looking at your trifold or reading your research paper how what you learned and what you found out would help other people. So how can your experiment and what you learned help other people make decisions or do something with that information? That's all you got to do. So we're bringing those in on Friday morning, and then they'll be set up for a viewing on Friday evening, and then students will be bringing those back home on Monday. They will also have a grade by Monday, at least if I can get around to everybody's and read them all and score them. But that's my goal.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S. He's at a capital. Which one will we learn about this week?
And now, where in the United States is Mr. Andrews? Well, if I'm very honest about it, I haven't actually gone to the capital city of this state. I only drove through this state when I was in this particular region of the United States. This state capital was a little bit too far off of the interstate that I was traveling on, and therefore I wasn't able to go by the state capital. But I do have a picture of it. Right here it is. This state's capital has the highest elevation of any capital city in the United States at 7,000 feet above sea level. It's also the oldest capital city, founded in the year 1610. Native Americans have been living in this state for some 20,000 years, and this state claims to be the land of enchantment. This state's climate is so dry that 3/4 of the roads are left unpaved. The roads don't have to be, the pavement would just kind of get in the way because, well, the road's not going to wash away. It's so dry there. And then this is probably my favorite of the clues. In 1950, the little cub that became known as Smokey the Bear was found trapped in a tree when his home in the Lincoln National Forest was destroyed by fire. So Smokey the Bear is from this state, probably one of the most famous citizens from this state. Well, once you've guessed the state and its capital, make sure your name is on this, and, well, get mom and dad to sign the bonus answer as well. That lets me know that they also listen to this PawCast.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S. He's at a capital. Which one will we learn about this week?
Let's have a great week together, and let's all get the big paw.